Question number 2. This one is considered a medium, so it's not going to be as hard as number 1, or it shouldn't be. It says to consider the diagram below. So I have a right triangle here, and I have the distance from Biggs south to be 8 miles. And I'll tell you what, let me do this. This distance is 8 miles. And then when I turn and drive on toward Eaton, this distance is 6 miles. So just eyeballing that, I could say that this is a 14-mile trip. And then we have this distance, which is labeled as Highway 232. So Highway 232 is not labeled with the number of miles. I know because this is a right triangle that would have to be the longest of the 3 legs, but we don't know exactly how long it is yet. Okay, Highway 232 is under construction. Approximately how many miles shorter? Now there is a clue. When I see a word like that, taller, shorter, longer, smaller, that indicates to me that I will have to subtract somewhere in this math problem. So make a note of that, and let's keep reading. How many miles shorter will the trip from Biggs to Eaton be after the highway is completed? So they're asking me, if I take that purple route, how much shorter would that trip be? But in order to find that answer, I need to know the length of Highway 232. And that is the hypotenuse of a right triangle, because here's the right angle, and that always points to the hypotenuse. So C is the hypotenuse, the diagonal. So I need the formula, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And we know that in this case, c squared is the highway. Okay. So A, I'm going to let that be 8. B, to me, base is 6. You can flip-flop those two. It will not matter because you are adding them. And I'm going to leave c squared in there because that's part of my formula. So we need to do 8 times 8. That's 64. 6 times 6 is 36. And those two together will give us c squared. So 64 and 36 equal 100, and that is c squared. So you have to take the square root of both sides to get a c over here, and the square root of 100 is 10. So 10 miles is the highway. Now be careful, because that answer is sitting there. B, 10 miles. But that was not the question. How many miles shorter will the trip be? So I need to subtract. If I go the blue route, I would go 8 miles south and then turn and go 6 miles. So that's one way. The difference is the straight shot as the crow flies. That's 10 miles. So 8 plus 6, the blue route would be 14 miles, minus 10 would give me a difference of 4 miles. And that's actually the answer we're looking for. D as in Delta. The difference would be 4 miles. So if you don't catch the word shorter, you could have a problem on this one. But the answer is D as in Delta. And again, that one is listed as a medium question.